Okay. So let us start with the class. I hope you are able to see the shared screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us start with the class today. So today we are going to see with 12th chapter. Before starting the class, let us take the blessings of our deity Shri Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada, who has provided us with Bhagavad Gita as it is, one of the one of the best versions of Bhagavad Gita. So, with their grace, let us take their blessings to prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So with this, let us start with the today's class. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Make our life joyous. So as I told, Srila Prabhupada has given us with the Bhagavad Gita as it is version, and the message of Bhagavad Gita has been coming through a disciplined succession, which and our sampradaya, as I told before also in this introduction part of the Bhagavad Gita, that our sampradaya comes under Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava sampradaya. So it started by Lord Brahma, so therefore it is Brahma sampradaya. Madhva, because Madhvacharya is our main acharya, who has made this sampradaya popular. Then Gaudiya means actually Bengal side was previously known as Gauda Desh. So that which is belonging to that origin, so that is why it is called as Gaudiya, because we see we have various literatures which are present in the Bengali text, like we see the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit and many other, all the books related to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many bhajans also, Vaishnav bhajans are written in Bengali script. So we see that um, uh, this uh, this sampradaya has mainly spread in the Bengal side, so therefore it is known as Gaudiya, and this is because it's a disciplic succession, a bona fide disciplic succession. That's why it is a sampradaya. So Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnav sampradaya. Our respectful obeisances to the founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has, established ISKCON and uh, made this book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is. His disciple, our Guru Maharaj, that is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, by whose grace this movement has been, supported and, spread out in various countries. And then our temple presidents, His Grace Namanishta Das Prabhuji, who has started this Bhagavad Gita course, and because of which we are able to understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So now let us have a quick recap of what we did in the previous chapters, because it has been a really long time. I think 2 weeks we couldn't take class. So therefore, after 2 weeks, we are finally taking a class. So let us have a quick recap. So in there are three modes of material nature: Sattva gun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. Sattva gun is mode of goodness, Rajogun is mode of passion, and Tamogun is mode of ignorance. So as we see that in 14th chapter, there is a guna which Krishna explains is above the three modes of material nature. That is Shuddha Sattva Guna, that is pure goodness or uncontaminated goodness, which is above the three modes of material nature. And a devotee who worships Krishna, uh, a pure devotee, is in this guna, Shuddha Sattva Guna. Finally, let us now start with our chapter 17th chapter, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, that is the divisions of faith. So three kinds of faith are there. Then we'll also see how can we classify food, sacrifice, austerity, and charity in the three modes. And conclusion will be the explanation of Om Tat Sat. Okay, so this is basic brief and summary about the chapter. So first Arjuna inquires about unauthorized worship. Lord Krishna answers, and we see that how the three modes determine one's faith and worship. Foods in three modes, sacrifice in three modes, three kinds of austerities, austerity in three modes, charity in three modes, and finally we'll be learning about what is Om Tat Sat. Usually at the end of each chapter, we say Om Tat Sat, meaning like showing that the chapter has concluded. So we'll be understanding the meaning of it. Okay. Arjuna uvacha ye shastra vidhimutsrijya yajante shraddhayanvitaha tesham nishtha ka Krishna sattvam aho rajastamaha. Anybody would like to read the translation? Please read.
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principle of scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in godness, in passion, or in ignorance?
Thank you, Prabhu. So this is Arjuna's inquiry that what about those who are worshipping according to their own imagination and they do not follow the ignorance? So what mode do they belong to? Goodness, passion, or ignorance? Now let us see what Lord Krishna answers. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Saswabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrinu. Okay. Someone please read the translation.
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in godness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this.
So we'll understand about this in the further verses. Shunu Sattvanurupa uh, Shunu Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata Shraddha Mayoyam Purusho Yo Yachhadrasa Eva Saha. O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various mode of nature, one involves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be in that particular phase according to the modes he has acquired. So if one attains the Krishna consciousness stage, then that path is guaranteed for elevation to the perfectional stage. So this shloka says that according to the various modes of nature one acquires, the faith also depends on that. And also those who are situated in Krishna consciousness, for them perfection is guaranteed. Jajante satvika devan yakshirasha rakshamsi rajasa pretan bhutaganam chanye yajanta tamasajana. Anybody else would like to read the translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods, those in the mode of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits.
Okay, so those who are in mode of goodness, they worship the demigods, because uh, those who are in mode of passion, they worship the demons. Like if we see on the hellish planets, we see, and some people they worship some demons because they feel good in the demonic nature of and the evil nature of the demons. So they worship the demons. And mode of ignorance means they worship the ghost and the spirits. Like if we see, especially in India, people have, people who believe in uh, such things like, uh, putting ash, and then, doing various procedures, and they try to, call the ghost, and they try to pray and fulfill their wishes from ghost and spirits. So that is what is all called as, uh, uh, all those people are usually in mode of ignorance. Those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the spirits, scriptures, performing them out of pride, egotism, lust, and attachment, were impelled by passion, and who torture their own body organs as well as the supersoul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. So, now they are talking about austerities. So, we see that best example of this is Hiranyakashipu. We see, you see the how he is, there are he has, he has gone austerity for like thousands and thousands of years, calling Lord Brahma to ask for a boon. So we see that how his skin is completely torn. You see there is only bones over this part. Means his skin is half torn. There are various ant hills, which are, made surrounding him. All the ants are, eating up his body, and, in this, first of all, he is performing out of pride, you know an attachment, because uh, he wants to rule the world. So he is wanting boons, like, and we see once Lord Brahma appears, he gets boons like he can neither die in day or neither in night, neither inside the house, neither outside the house, neither in the sky, neither on the land, and, neither neither with a weapon or any other thing, or, many such exceptions he has made. In fact, one beautiful exception which I have found, and many people don't know, is neither in any of the 12 months created by Lord Brahma. So he says. So what did Narsimha Dev do? If you know, recently we had Damodar Mass. So Damodar Mass is like an extra month, which is usually not considered as a part of the 12 months created by Lord Brahma. So what did Lord Narsimha killed him on that month, Damodar month. So, actually, for Lord Narsimha, that is Lord Krishna, all these exceptions he can easily break. But since Lord Brahma is a very great devotee of his, so trying to respect and keep his word, therefore he tries to fulfill all the conditions. But still, Hiranyakashipu uh, gets killed by Lord Narsimha. Okay. Now, even the food each person prefers is of three kinds, according to the three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerity, and charity. Now, here of the distinctions between them. Okay, so now let us understand what are the components of food. Food we consume is broken into three parts. Okay, one is the grossest ingredient, that is the waste material out of it. After digestion, we see that uh, stool that we produce, that is the grossest ingredient. Then the middling ingredient is all the nutrients and the vitamins, minerals, and everything that we get. Uh, all the various type of nutrients which we get and which are absorbed in our flesh, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and all other minerals are basically which are absorbed in the flesh, is what is the middling ingredient. And the subtlest ingredient is the one which is absorbed into our mind, which is there in our consciousness. So therefore we see, uh, our food that we consume does not only have gross effect, it has a subtle effect on our body and our consciousness also. Therefore we see that why do we not recommend non-veg? One of the reasons is, first of all, it is that we should show mercy to animals. But one of the reasons is that if you have noticed that those who are you know those who are accustomed to meat eating, they usually are very much proactive and very aggressive in nature. They they show aggressive nature, and they are not able to handle situations properly because of their aggressive nature. So we see that because they have killed poor animals, like uh, whenever animals are getting slaughtered for such food, we see that the consciousness that they have, that from inside they'll be giving so much bad vibes. They'll be like, what are inside of their mind, they'll be like, what are these humans, and they will be in full of fear while they are being slaughtered. Of course, they're getting killed, so they will be full of fear. So in such fearful situations, they are getting slaughtered, and we see that those subtle those subtle vibes are also come as a part of the food. So therefore, uh, when those who eat more meat, they get the subtle effect of it, and because of which they are also accustomed to being more aggressive and more fearful. Meanwhile, those who eat prasadam and all, we see that they are usually very happy, and slowly, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, they can even convert into devotees. Now, there's of course often a saying that you are what you eat. So therefore, if you eat good food, then you will become healthy and lean. If you eat junk food, then you will remain unhealthy, and maybe you are more prone to diseases. Now let us understand the foods in three modes of goodness. Now, foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increases the duration of life, purifies one's existence, and gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfactions. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So now the healthy food which can be offered to the Lord is considered to be the food in the mode of goodness. So such type of food purifies one existence. It gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction, and they are very pleasing to the body and the heart. Now, anybody else would like to read this shloka?
Prabhuji, I'll read it.
Yes.
Foods are that food, foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot and pungent, dry and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Hare Krishna.
So we can usually say the street food that we get outside, like full spicy, full, uh, also we have, namkeen and all, full salty, very salty, too bitter, too sour, too hot, too pungent, dry, and burning means, like chilies, and, now it's not that we should not eat such type of foods, but it's not it's recommended to reduce it as much as possible, because it will have a subtle effect, that it will have a subtle effect, and it will enhance the mode of passion inside your body. Okay, so therefore, foods that are too bitter, too salt, too salty, too spicy, such type of foods are considered to be in mode of passion. Okay. Now, food prepared more than 3 hours before eating food, then food that is tasteless, decomposed, putrid, food consisting of remnants, untouchable things, is dear to those in mode of ignorance. So, therefore, such type of, first of all, we can say, uh, most of the outside food that we order and all, they might be, uh, they might be prepared or cooked 3 hours more, or they might be decomposed, tasteless, such type of foods are, and untouchable things are dear to those in the mode of ignorance. So now you might say, what about prasadam? If prasadam is, let us say, cooked 3 hours before and then it is distributed to everyone, will it come in mode of ignorance? No, for prasadam it's an exceptional case, because since Lord Krishna himself has accepted the offering, therefore the prasadam is transcendental and it is considered uh, it is considered to be in mode of uncontaminated goodness only. So therefore, but it should be consumed as early as possible. So therefore, uh, it's better to consume as early as possible, because it's better not to waste prasadam. Now, preparing bhog for Lord Krishna. So how do you prepare for food for Lord Krishna? We had in 9th chapter there was one shloka, patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati ma patram pushpam phalam toyam. So these are the 4 items which Lord Krishna says, and even the combination of these can be offered. Like you see this big thali which is offered in offered to the Supreme Lord, and first of all, most important is that you offer with love and devotion, because it said patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upaharitam astami prayatatmana. The word bhakti is specified 2 times in the sloka, so it is very much important that you offer with love and devotion. There is correct mood for offering, that you are not you are offering it for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. You are honoring Krishna Prasad, and the results of taking Krishna Prasad is that you are able to get more connected towards spirituality. Of sacrifices, that's now we are coming to the distinction between sacrifices. Of sacrifices, that sacrifice performed according to the duty and to the scriptural rules with no expectation of reward is considered to be nature of goodness. Okay, so all the sacrifices which are pleasing to the Supreme Lord, which are in which the mantras are chanted, Vedic mantras are chanted. It is performed according to the rules and regulations present in the Vedic injunctions, uh, and there is no expectation of anything in return. That type of sacrifice is considered to be nature of goodness. So therefore, your intention behind the sacrifice should be pure. This is said that one who acts to serve Krishna with body, with his mind, intelligence, and with his body, mind, and intelligence, and words, is a liberated person, even within this material world. So, manasa, vacha, karma. So, with your body, mind, and actions or words, you should be uh, uh, you should be surrendering unto the Supreme Lord, and you should try to please the Supreme Lord. See, even though such a time, if a person is in the material world, he is considered to be a pure devotee if he fully surrenders and serves Supreme Lord with full devotion. Okay, with his body, mind, intelligence, and words. Okay, now let us understand. Some sacrifices and rituals are okay. Anybody would like to read this?
Prabhuji and lady.
Yes.
Sometimes sacrifices and rituals are performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom or for some material benefits in this world. Such sacrifices or ritualistic performances are considered to be in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So those sacrifices which are done with some expectation in return, uh, so that you get elevation to heavenly kingdoms, or so for some type of material benefits, such type of ritualistic performances are considered to be mode of passion. The one example of mode of sacrifice and mode of goodness is when you chant Hare Krishna Mantra. Now you might say, how is that a sacrifice? So now sacrifice doesn't necessarily need to be a fire sacrifice. The recommended yagna for us is Harinam Sankirtan Yagna, where we chant the holy names of the Supreme Lord, and where we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to please the Supreme Lord, and we don't have any expectations in return. Viddihinam asrishtanam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam yagdam tamasam parichakshate. Okay, someone please read this.
I am reading, Prabhuji. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of scripture, without distribution of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns, and recommended.
Any sacrifice and without chanting of Vedic hymns and remunerations
To the priests and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance.
So Viddihinam mantrahinam Shraddha Virahitam means one which is done without any regard, without any proper procedure, okay, without any distribution of prasadam, okay, without chanting of, Vedic hymns, and or remunerations to the priest, mean like offering things to the priest, giving respect, and following their orders without you know without any faith, just for show off, like some people do various activities for, like, for display and show that, uh, such type of sacrifices are considered to be mode of ignorance. Okay, so now one of the examples we can see is of Bhasmasura. Now what was this now it is a very a very peculiar story. So what happens is that Bhasmasura, this demon, is worshipped Lord Krishna. I mean, worshipped Lord Shiva to so that he can get a boon. Okay. Now he um, he took to austerity for like several years, and then Lord Shiva being pleased, is one of the name is Ashutosh, that he gets pleased very easily. So he being pleased, so he was, he came in front of Bhasmasura and asked what boon does he want. So uh, so now Bhasmasura is like, so whoever's head I will touch, they should turn into ashes. Okay. So now Lord Shiva granted this boon. Okay. So now he wanted to try. Okay. So like then what happened is that as soon as he got the boot, he started running behind Lord Shiva. So to started running behind Lord Shiva to touch Lord Shiva's head, and turn him into ashes. So now Lord Shiva also started running away from him. So now what happened is that uh, uh, he was in a very Lord Shiva was in a very confused state. So he approached Lord Vishnu and told to do some solution. So now what happened is that uh, 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 Lord Vishnu appeared in a form of a very beautiful lady. Okay, and Bhasmasura was invited to the such type of event, and Lord Vishnu came in a form of Mohini, where Lord Vishnu in form of a dancer was performing steps, So now even Bhasmasura started copying Lord Vishnu. Next, what he did is that as soon as he realized that he's very, he's not that much paying attention to his hand movements, and is blindly copying. So what Lord Vishnu did is that last step he kept it as if he is touching his head. Okay, so Bhasmasura also tried to imitate, and he also touched his head, but he realized that, oh my god, that now since he has touched his own head, he will turn himself into ash. So then immediately he got destroyed, and Lord Shiva was uh, was made to escape from this situation. So it such type of things, where there is no faith, blindly, and it's done for some demonic intentions. Such type of sacrifices considered to be mode of ignorance. So okay, sometimes people worship some demigod just to make money and spend the money for recreation. Now, uh, now there are some temples. I'm not saying all temples. Okay. Now see, whenever people show some priest as mithyachari, or hypocrites, that doesn't mean all saints are hypocrites. So I'm saying some temples, what they do is that they do worship of demigods to attain more and more donation, and that they make from that they might make money to spend the money for recreation, ignoring the scriptural injunctions. Such ceremonial shows of religiosity are not accepted as genuine, and they are all in mode of darkness. They do produce some demonic mentality and do not benefit the human society. Now let us understand the austerities in various modes. Okay. Let us understand austerities of body, speech, and mind. Okay. So, austerity of body. Devadvija Guru Pragna Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsacha Sharinam Tapa Uchyate. Someone please read the translation.
Mataji, can I?
Yes.
Authority of the body consists in this worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and superiors like the father and mother. Cleanness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence are also austerities of body. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was on mute. Okay. So now I'll explain. So, what does this sloka explain is that uh, these are various austerities: worship of the Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, the spiritual masters, superiors like father and mothers, cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Now, see here, he's mentioning non-violence, and to Arjuna is talking about violence, that is to kill them. So, how do you justify this? Anybody has any answers, or anybody would like to give their opinion? It's fine if it's wrong also. So my question is that, as I told, here he's talking. Lord Krishna is talking about non-violence, and to Arjuna is encouraging violence. So why is this so? Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. So this is because, see, first of all, non-violence is something which affects their spiritual growth. But we see that but we're seeing that here is not affecting their spiritual growth. And since in second chapter we have seen that 6 type of aggressors are such that even if you kill them, you don't incur any type of sin. But we see that the Duryodhana and the Kauravas, the brother and his brothers, come in the category of all of the 6 type of aggressors. Therefore they are definitely meant to be killed, and you do not incur sin from doing this. So therefore uh, though here is talking about non-violence, but we see that violence which Lord Krishna has told Arjuna to do is justified. Now austerity of speech, that is speaking truthfully and beneficially and avoiding speech that offends, one should also recite the Vedas regularly. Now this is one of the reasons why we emphasize on shloka chanting. You might be wondering why should we chant shlokas and all. That is because it purifies our, see, in fact Sanskrit is considered to be a research. In fact, scientific research has shown that Sanskrit is such a type of language that memorizing verses in that, like such type of slokas, will help you to improve your overall memory power. And it will not be like, it will it's not like it will only help you in memorizing shlokas. It will help you in memorizing your things which we learn for various exams and everything. So overall memory power has also increased. In fact, it's my personal experience that uh, my memory power has also increased so much by reciting these Sanskrit slokas. And even your pronunciation, your accent and everything becomes very clear by chanting Sanskrit. Therefore it is recommended to recite the Vedas regularly, and also to speak truthfully but beneficially, such that it doesn't offend anyone. So uh, we should not basically of course we should avoid the usage of foul language or bad words. So and we should also speak truthfully and such that it is pleasing to others, and avoiding speech that offends others. Okay, now let us understand austerity of mind. Satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self control, purification of one's existence are austerity of mind. So keeping satisfaction, simplicity. In fact, it is Srila Prabhupada's quote that simple living, high thinking. This is what should be our life based on. Simple living, high thinking. Self-control, purification of one's existence are considered to be in austerity of mind. Okay. Now let us see penance in 3 modes of goodness. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividham narai aphalakankshibhiryuktai satvikam parichakshate. Anybody would like to read the translation? Please read. Yes.
This threefold austerity practiced by men whose aim is not to benefit themselves materially but to please the Supreme is of the nature of goodness.
Okay. So penance which is done to please the Supreme Lord is considered in the nature of goodness. Penance in passion. सात्कारामन पूजार्थम तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम राजसं चलमध्रुवम्. Yes.
Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent.
Such type of penances which are done to get respect among people and society, honor and all, and that is that is considered to be in mode of passion. Mudha grahenatmano ye Mudha grahenatmano yat pidaya kriyate tapah parasyotsadanartham va tattamasamudahritam. Someone please read this.
Penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy, injure others is said to be in the mood of ignorance.
So as I gave you the example of Hiranyakashipu, there was self-torture also, and he wanted boons to destroy and injure others. With such type of intentions, the penance was considered to be mode of ignorance. Now let us understand charity in three modes. Charity in goodness. The gift which is given out of duty at proper time, place to a worthy person without expectation in return is considered to be charity in the mode of goodness. Okay. So charity or donations which are given for for valid reasons are considered to be in mode of goodness. Proper time and proper place to a worthy person. Not that. Therefore, while giving charity, you must be very careful to who are you giving, because uh, if they use your money or donation in a wrong way, then that can be really Uh, Therefore, suppose if suppose if someone asks for charity, don't give them money directly. Rather, you can rather if they want some food or something, then tell them. Then you can either you can cook food at home or offer it to the Supreme Lord and distribute prasadam among the poor people. So therefore, you must be careful that uh, therefore, it's recommended not to give money directly, because money can be misused anywhere. But if you give food or something, then they have to eat. Okay. So therefore, uh, in case they misuse your money, then a little part of their karma or their sin will come to you also, because it is you who are responsible to give the money to a unworthy person. Such charity is considered to be in mode of goodness. Suppose and you can even do donation in our ISKCON Mangalore temple construction. Hopefully, it's said to be that even soft opening and many things have been done. Hopefully, by 2024, we would be maybe no. Not starting of 2024, but maybe mid of 2024. We will be able to see the entire temple. So in case now also you want to donate for any seva also, if you want to donate, or for temple construction if you want to donate, then you can please donate. It will help us to build a new home for Lord Krishna. Now charity in mode of passion. Yattu pratyupakarartham phalam uddishya vapuna diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam raja samsritam. But charity performed with expectation of some return, or with a desire for fruitive results, or in grudging mood, is said to be in charity in mode of passion. So, charity which is done to gain some respect or expectation, uh, such type of charity is considered to be in mode of passion. You see here, the person is giving food, but his actual his actual intention is to click photos and gain more so that more people appreciate him in social media. He's not caring about he just wants to give he just want to show to the society that I am doing this much for the society and all. So therefore, such type of charity is considered to be in mode of passion. Now, okay, charity in mode of ignorance. A charity which is performed at improper place and time and given to unworthy person without respect with contempt and with contempt is considered to be charity in mode of ignorance. So see here, my people are wanting money for buying beer and drugs, and this boy is giving money for that. So therefore, uh, the money is being given to an unworthy person. Therefore, uh, therefore, such type of charity is considered to be in mode of ignorance. Okay. Now let us enter into the last section of this chapter, which talks about Om Tat Sat. Anybody would like to read this sloka? Please read.
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
From the beginning of creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme.
So these three words, Om Tat Sat, represent the supreme absolute truth. Okay. And it has been used by Brahmanas in chanting Vedas and for during sacrifices, and also done for satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Tasmadomiti udahritya yagna tapah kriya pravartante vidhanokta satatam brahmavadina. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performance of sacrifices, charity, and penance in accordance with scripture regulations begin with always with Om to attain the supreme. Okay, so this is now they are explaining about the importance of each of the words Om, Tat, and Sat. So basically, at the starting of any sacrifice or penance, Om, it begins with the chanting of Om. Uh, That's why we start with Om Ajnanatimirandasya every day. When we chant prayers, the first verse that we recite is, I'll show you also. See, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Prananjana Shalakaya. So here we are doing prayers so that we can understand the message of Bhagavad Gita, because this is also a type of sacrifice. We are, spending time to understand the message of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, every sacrifice or charity penance starts with the beginning of Om. Okay. Now, anybody would like to read this?
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. Tat Tattvam Asi.
Okay, that is fine. I'll explain. Don't worry. So, the purpose of chanting Tat is to get free from material entanglement, and your desire. We are showing that we don't have any kind of fruitive or material desires behind performing this sacrifice, penance, or charity. Okay. Uh, the absolute truth is the objective of devotion, sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performance of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which true to the absolute nature are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pritha. So, the objective of devotional sacrifice is indicated by the word Sat, and this performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat. Basically, the objective of this sacrifice is to please the Supreme Lord, and the performer the one who is performing the sacrifice is also called Sat. So this is how we explain Om Tat Sat. Om is chanted in the beginning of each verse. uh, whenever undertaking any performance, that is to express that is to get free from any material desires or entanglement, and Sat represents the object of devotional service, that is to praise the Supreme Lord, and the performer of such activity sacrifice is also called Sat. Now let us enter into the last sloka of this chapter. Who would like to read the translation? Kartik Prabhu, since you have got a chance before, I'll give chance to Mataji. Please read. Hare Krishna. Continue.
Anything done as a sacrifice or charity. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called asat, and is useless both in this life and the next.
Okay. So penance performed without any faith in the Supreme is impermanent, and that is useless both in this life and the next life also. So therefore, let us show some gratitude. Thank you, Krishna, for whatever I have is because of your mercy. Okay. For the ultimate solution to all problems, we must awaken Krishna consciousness. This is the conclusion of all the Vedic scriptures. Okay, someone please read this. Anybody would like to? Yes.
Krishna is God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a person. He has a Shyam Sundar form. Krishna is Satchid Ananda.
Therefore, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has a Shyam Sundar form, is a person, and he is also Satchidananda, just like us. That is qualitatively same, quantitatively different. Okay. Sat means eternal knowledge. Chit means eternal. Sat means eternity, means you are eternal. Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means eternal bliss. So with this, let us take the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, by whose mercies we have been able to understand this. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Kuti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. So now I'll be sharing this attendance link. Please fill the attendance form. Once you fill the